Here, obviously, the celebrations will still be on. The fact that he's claimed that Division 2 title, focused on the championship, the double, is it beyond you?
No, I suppose we've secured promotion. That was the goal, like, but there was nothing to lose now, like, so I suppose that's a good way to be going into the championship, definitely.
Disappointing last year at the quarter-final stage, losing out to Derry Lohan. But you've refocused, rebuilt, and I suppose the success of this year will drive you on.
Aye, definitely. You've got that taste for it now, like, and you want to go another step further, like, and everyone's ready and chomping at the bit, like, so.
And there's no doubt the abilities there, because that was proven this year when the chips were down, and you showed real character.
Aye, definitely. Like, I suppose most of the games there's only a few points in it. Just Division 2 is so competitive and so tough, like, and you just have to keep going till the very end, because that's what it comes down to, like.
You carry a great threat too with Liam Mossy. Some wonderful scores this year. He's been outstanding, but it's very much a team effort, isn't it?
Aye, no, Liam is that class too, like, but no, everyone's putting in a wild shift this year, and everyone's put the shoulder to the wheel, and I suppose everyone's doing it, it's contagious, like, and no, it's great belief about us, you know.
One thing's for sure, you won't take Owen Rose for granted. They're often seen as a championship side.
Aye, I suppose I've met them too many times over the years in the championship, you know, but no, we both teams know each other well, but no, it'll be another tough game now, definitely.
Looking forward to it?
Aye, definitely, especially just after all this year too, nothing to lose, like, as I say, so definitely.
Richie, the championship, as defending champions, is there extra pressure?
Nah, no extra pressure. I think our approach to this year is very similar to previous, is to get by the first round, and listen, we're a team that's in contention, but that guarantees nothing and gives you nothing. We have to get through the first round, and that's the only goal at the minute.
It's tough, obviously, in Tyrone. I think the last time was Kerry more way back in the noughties to do back-to-back. So it's very, very difficult in Tyrone, isn't it?
It is, and it's testament to Tyrone football, the amount of teams you have contending, and I think it only paints a good picture for Tyrone football. So again, it's a good reflection, but for the team to do it, it would be a great reflection on them too.
Finished sixth in the league. You're up against a team that finished bottom, who potentially could be relegated. They don't win the championship English, but you take nothing for granted, because the championship is the championship after all, isn't it?
It definitely is. It's a different animal and a different beast altogether, and it takes on a different life than what the league usually gives you, and a lot of contextual things to English's circumstances this year, and they'll have a team and a squad well prepared under Matt McLeanan, and that's what we're expecting.
It was a great tradition, no, and so like you always seem to have a reason to try and push on. Last year, obviously, there was a few deaths in the community, and there's always something that you want to drive on, and that's maybe built on tradition, isn't it?
It is. We're a very connected community, through the ranks, from young and old and cross community and everything like that. So there's always, tragedy aside, there's always very big reasons and strong reasons within our club to want to achieve and succeed. So as we look at
one in a back-to-back would be extra special, wouldn't it?
What more incentive do you really need there? We've done it before in our history, so that's something we'll be looking to emulate.
Looking forward to it yourself on a personal level?
Definitely. I haven't played much football this year to date. I've been back in training the last few weeks and played the last 2 games, so I'm mad for football now.
For Omagh and Killyclogher, there's big derbies and then there's big derbies, and that's certainly one of them. It's been a long tradition between the two clubs.
I suppose it's like when you're next door neighbours, there's always going to be a big rivalry, especially when you're growing up with the boys in school. They play them up in school, they're friends with them, so you know them well, and they know us well, so there's always going to be a rivalry there between us. But is this something you're used to now for this?
But both teams obviously went out in the first round last year, so both teams perhaps have a point to prove this season.
Yeah, look, you know, for our own point of view, last year we probably weren't happy with our own performance in the championship, and this year probably want to improve on it. And last couple of games of the league we probably have improved a wee bit in our own performance, but there's still a lot more to give. We know we're coming in a big game, and Keoghan are one of the most consistent teams in Tyrone, always meeting at the top, so we know that we're up, we have a chance.
2017, the last time Omo won it, you were part of the side, and there's one or two players still there as well, and those experienced players like yourself will play a big part in this opening round.
As well as experience is always good. As I said, we've been there before, we know how to do it. What to say, probably the big thing this year is the number of youth players came through. That's probably helped us, senior players, and kept us going. And them boys have been there the last couple of years and probably have stepped up a bit more now in the league. It would just helped us, from which we're appreciative.
Killyclogher obviously recorded a good victory in the league campaign, but the league doesn't matter when it comes to the championship, does it?
I wouldn't say it doesn't matter now. I say, look, they were very good that night to Paddy us. They probably taught us a bit of a lesson that night and well respected in the level we want to compete at. Look, when we know ourselves, we have to improve on that performance if we want to get close to KLR. Look, they're a quality team. They've quality all over the pitch, and we'll just have to try to match it on the day. And just that's our performance from the league.
And getting over the first round's what it's all about initially, isn't it?
Look, the first round's always tough. In throwing championship, and anybody could beat anybody on the day. And I think it's shown that over the last number of years, and it's shown over the number of winners. There's no repeat winners the last couple of years. So it's tough.
And we're at Loughmacrory, and you play Loughmacrory in the opening round of the championship. It's always tough on Tyrone, isn't it?
Yeah, no, serious Division 1 as always, and Loughmacrory obviously a serious team this past number of years have built up a really good Division 1 pedigree, particularly in championship. Look back to, I think they were beaten the semi-final a couple of years ago and then just pipped by Trillick and were unlucky last year. So, they're a serious outfit, and it's a big test for us.
You know what to expect from Loughmacrory after he's through, of course, in the championship, and a very tough game, of course, as well.
Yeah, no, I think everybody who's played against Loughmacrory the past number of years knows what they're about. They're a really, really good, well-conditioned team. So we've an idea of what we're up against. That night they were missing a few key men as well, so they'll have them to add to it. So they'll have a really good opposition.
Last year, he went out in the first round to Dromore, and unlucky maybe in that game.
Yeah, maybe a bit. We've took a lot of learning from it, I think, since. That was obviously our first year back up into Division 1 in a couple of years. And maybe slightly naive in the way we approach things, and Dromore probably did deserve it in the end. But it sort of convinced us that we were close at least, and we with a few tweaks can make improvements on that.
You certainly improved that this year, finishing third in the league campaign. At times, you've led the league. You've looked very, very comfortable at times, and that must be a massive boost to find yourselves in that position going into the championship.
Yeah, well, I suppose if somebody said at the start of the year you'd finished third, you'd have took it no problem. There was a good start. There were a few low points as well with heavy defeats and plenty of learning from that. But yeah, look, it's an ideal way to prepare for the championship. There was a very punishing schedule towards the end of August there, so first and foremost we'll be looking to get the bodies right. But no, we're happy enough with how the league panned out.
Was that a big difficulty for you, the way the league did pan out? Obviously, it was so many games squeezed into a small window.
I think it was. It was the same for every club, obviously, but I think it's a punishing schedule, as I say. I think it's impossible for players at this level to play that many games, consecutively. It's tested squad depth, which isn't a bad thing. It gives younger players a chance as well, but it's not ideal running the championship to have that many games in such a short period of time.
You're still looking forward to it, though, and a crack to get over the first round?
Absolutely. Championship in Tyrone, everyone knows it's brilliant. It's knockout football, so the stakes are high. And it's a great buzz around Galway, obviously, with the league finishing the way it did. It's a very tight-knit community, so no, it's great. Looking forward to it.
Danny, it doesn't get much bigger than a local derby. There's a couple in the championship that yourselves and Connollys, well, massive, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's the one you look forward to. That's nearly the first draw you want. If you happen to get to the final, that's nearly the draw you want. But no, it's like probably around the championship just happened to be the way the two of us went in the league. So the more that we're probably the weakest teams on paper at the minute, but to me, it's probably the biggest draw in the championship.
Not that long ago since he's won the championship in reality. 2013, obviously, has been a bit mixed fortunes after that. He's went close a couple of years, then got relegated, got promoted last year, and find yourselves in the lower reaches of the league. It's been difficult, though, hasn't it, just to readjust?
It's been up and down. Look, last year didn't do us no harm either. It gave us a building block to go on, and then this year then with new management, and it's not going to happen overnight either. So hopefully if we'll hang on in there, it's a good starting block to go with next year again.
The potential, obviously, of maybe meeting Connollys in the line in the league playoff as well as the championship. Does that add to the occasion in the championship? Because there's no doubt it's a huge event, doesn't it?
It probably does make it even bigger, because even if you win the first round of the championship, you still know farther down the line you still have this playoffs game, which is probably even bigger again. So it's hard to even say which one's bigger than that. So just win the both of them, hopefully.
The one thing, one thing for yourselves, though, is the fact that these are these were a well-established senior club up until that relegation. You know what it takes to win championship. You know what it takes to get over the first round. Does that add to the trying to progress from the first round?
We still have plenty of outlaws there yet that's been there and done it.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but there are a lot of experience there.
I like a bit of experience. When it comes to the throw, you need a bit of experience. Don't get me wrong, you need a bit of a raw dog as well, but I think you can't beat a bit of experience that's been there and done it.
Is there a hunger with Clonot to get over the first round and try and progress?
Well, last year, we went through last year with losing once. We weren't used to losing. Now this year has been nearly a total opposite, so we're more hungry than ever just to win the first one and then just see how we go after that.
Knockout format is the one, isn't it really? It's a winner take all on this occasion.
It's when you really find out who's who, isn't it? Some show up in championship, some don't.
Sean, I suppose taking on Dromore in the championship, it's one that people look out for the first round of the championship. When you're playing a team as established as Dromore, it adds a wee bit of bite to the whole occasion, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely, and especially with the Tyrone Championship, it's a toss-up coin between whoever's going to win it. And especially with Dromore, we're very familiar now with Dromore. I suppose at the start of the year we played them, when we played them in the league semi-final. Also last year up in Dromore, so it's always a game which has good tension in it, and it's a good way to start off the championship for us.
Talking about last year, disappointment in the championship really, wasn't it?
It was a game where we never got going. Fair play to Edendork, they showed up and we didn't, and they put us to the collar, and it was a very disappointing, and especially with the tradition of Carrickmore, when you go, I suppose Carrickmore's built on playing championship football, and to go out in the first round the way we did, it didn't sit well with the players and the management, and even the whole parish itself.
Yeah, there's a difference this year to the whole setup, really, isn't there, in the whole mentality. Finished fourth in the league, qualified for the knockout stages, but the championship's where you want to really assess yourselves, isn't it? And a tough opener. And bear in mind, it's 2004-2005, the last team to win back-to-back titles. I'm sure Carrickmore would like to get back in the top rung again.
Oh, absolutely. Look, it's 19 years too long for the club. Every year, I suppose, up until 2004-2005, they were either in a final or they were winning the League Cup.
Right, yeah.
And look, we want to get back there. This group of players have come through from under 16s and minors, winning county titles and Ulster titles. So we believe now that this is the team now to step up and to reclaim the O'Neill Cup. And look, we'll not be looking any forward than Dromore. We know we're not foolish enough to think that we can just go out and turn it on. We'll have to prepare now for it and for the next week and a half. But the league has done us in good stead. You don't get into the top four by fluke or by any chance. You have to be consistent, and you have to play a style of football that makes you go out and win games. And that's what we've done, where we just sneaked into the top four there with the result over Pomroy there yesterday. So it's so far so good the year.
That must be a positive to still be pushing on in the league ahead of the championship, not finishing off on a dead rubber, but wanting to win that game to progress.
Oh, absolutely. Look, every game in Tyrone you want to win. There's 15 league games. That's what you're guaranteed at the start of the year, and you've won championship game, and it'd be foolish not to go out and try to win every game. I suppose you have the opportunity to play for your club, and you're wearing your club jersey, and within those 15 games you want to go out and make that jersey proud. You know who took you to your first football game. You're playing for your family, you're playing for everything, and that's the main thing. You want to go out and give a duty of care of that jersey, and you want to keep that duty of care and then to inspire the younger Carrickmore girls and boys to come out and play and wear the jersey as well.
So who inspired you at a young age?
I suppose you start with your own father. The dad was probably the first man to take me into the gates of Park Columkill, but look, I was very lucky to have a lot of strong men around me, with me three uncles, Damien, Kieran and Aidan. They all played for Carrickmore and represented them at the highest level, and Damien was very lucky till we go and win
the O'Neill Cup as a captain, and look, it'd be a great thing that if I can go on following his footsteps, because he was probably one of the main men that helped me throughout my career so far.
Phone, after the success of last year, getting promotion to be relegated right away, basically, it's a bit of a setback, but not one you can dwell on with a championship against Barra just around the corner.
Yeah, big game coming up, Paddy, so looking forward to getting momentum together. We used the last couple of league games there to do that, so we thought we'd put a couple of good performances together there as a team, and we'd build now for 2 weeks for Barra.
You've been able to run out a lot of younger players as well, give them all a bit of a head of steam coming up to the championship. Has to be positive for Colin and the team.
Aye, massive, Paddy. There's probably 5 new minors came into the team there, so it's always good. Maybe years before there might only been 1 or 2, but the boys are looking at driving on too. The young lads, it's class to see.
There's no getting away from the fact that last year was a massive success. Getting promotion, reaching the county final, losing out an extra time in a game perhaps that he's maybe left behind. But now obviously a bit of a setback. As I said, you can't dwell on that. The championship's extra special in Tyrone, and you'd love to try and progress, wouldn't you?
Definitely looking to put together a couple of good performances in the championship, Paddy, and that deal stand us no matter what in the future. Like 100% playing ahead of standard football stand us.
Yeah, have you noticed that the step up this year? Is that, obviously a lot of injuries earlier on, I suppose they set you back a bit?
A few injuries and stuff, a few boys missing, and a few boys other commitments this year, but look, that's the way football goes, and definitely knows to step up and standard, but it'll stand us in the future.
You know all about Barra, quality side. You would have met them this year, of course, already. You know what to expect from Barra.
Know what to expect, good hard team, like, and we always had battles throughout the year, like, and my age group myself, we always played Barra the whole way up, so looking forward to it, like, there's no better team to play.
And they're hit with a few injuries as well, so it might even itself out, really.
I would see how we get on. I would think that it'll be a good battle either way, like, massive day in Carrickmore, so looking forward to it. Big day.
Oisin, Eden Dork, sort of an East Tyrone derby in the first round of the championship. The Knockouts Championship in Tyrone, something special, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, as in, like, especially come from a club like Arbo, we've probably a good tradition in the championship, but probably haven't represented ourselves over the last couple of years well, but you can kind of see, obviously, out of the last 15, 20 years, there's very, very little, as in, like, between all the teams, and it's probably a different person on the cup each year, and obviously that's probably the most important thing, and obviously that kind of knockout structure is really, as in, like, how special it is, and obviously that's why the country's really talking about how good the Tyrone Championship really is.
From our bowl point of view, though, not winning the O'Neill Cup since 1998, it's a long gap, isn't it? It's something you want to right. You came close last year at the semi-final stage, but it's something you want to go one step further again.
Oh yeah, totally. As in, like, as I said, the tradition is very, very strong in our club. Obviously, we're a different team, and we have to bring our own tradition ourselves. As in, like, we've had plenty of youth success, but we've never really transformed that into obviously senior success. And yeah, like last year, we obviously got 2 good results in the first 2 games, but then we never really applied ourselves as well in this, obviously, that game against Ergal. And to be honest, it's probably something that we've probably took a long, hard, like, winter at and really looked at, and it was very, very hard to defeat, obviously, Tick with the way the mannerism, as in, and it's something we really want to crack this year, as in, like, and make it very, very important. And obviously with the league, we haven't really had a good start to the league, but then obviously we've brought a wee bit of momentum in the end of the league, so we're trying to start building on that. But at the end of the day, with the Tyrone Championship, you can only take it one game at a time, because if you start looking at other fixtures, you'll just get lost in it.
And it's getting over the first round, key, isn't it, really?
Oh,
you can build that.
Totally, and at the end of the day, probably, as you kind of say, is the calibre in accordance to the championship. Eden Dork probably have better calibre than us over the last couple of years, as in, like, they won multiple intermediate championships, and the likes of, like, even competing, obviously, the last couple of years they pushed really, really well in the championship and always represented them quite well. So they're going to be very, very hard to beat. They have a lot of very key, important men down the middle, and we'll just have to try and make it very, very watertight, and obviously try and play our own game then in accordance with trying to outplay ourselves.
You mentioned the youth players, a few coming through there at the right time to mix with the experience, like yourself, and the older players you're there. That's going to be very important, isn't it?
Oh yeah, totally. As in, you can kind of see, obviously, you've got the likes of your Conor Devons there and Shea O'Hare's and a ball of speed, as in, like that, and that's something that we try and obviously bring through, but at the same time, that the experience is what's going to obviously get you through them last couple of minutes and different wee things to get. But at the same time, them boys have probably as much experience in accordance with the high levels as much as a lot of the higher ones, as in, like, in accordance with championship experience and even, like, inter-county experience. So at the end of the day, we're trying to mix that right in between. Obviously, you get the likes of Shane McGuigan, and it's very, very important, obviously, just trying to get the right blend of that. But yeah, definitely, our youth is still always quite strong, so it's something that we try and push through. And there's a lot of work kind of goes on at that kind of youth level. So it's really accolades to them, obviously.
Time to bear fruit now, though.
Well, yeah, totally. As I kind of say, as in we have to start really pushing ourselves and really showing and representing ourselves quite well. I probably haven't done that. So we, as I said, we're our own team and we have to really start pushing on according to the championship. I think we probably showed a couple of wee signs last year, but we probably didn't push on and really show ourselves fully last year. So as some we'll take this game, but we'll have to apply ourselves against Eden Dork and then we'll see how things go after that.
Jay, relegation last year, I suppose, was a bit of a setback for yourselves, but you regrouped and trying to focus now on the championship and an opener against Fintna.
Yeah, definitely. It's look, this intermediate is not easy at all on any team. We've dealt with our losses this year, and look, we were a bit unfortunate at the end of the year, but that's just how things go. And now we're gonna just give it a good push for this championship coming up.
You should open one in the senior championship last year against Donaghmore, and obviously that was a massive boost for yourselves. Then came up against a good Errigal side. No disrespect, I suppose, to yourselves the way it finished up last year, but you have regrouped well, and that's good. It's good measure of the club's character.
Yeah, look, it was up here last year. It was a game that we were just going to try and play our best, and we did. We done what we could, and it just goes to show, like, the experience of Division 1, having that experience is all important. Especially, look, we've took it into this year. We regrouped and we have set ourselves goals this year, and hopefully by the end of the year we can hit them goals. Just for the
And a
championship.
few of the players obviously won the title back in 21, so it's not that long ago. You know what it's like to win a championship.
Look, we're hoping again to just experience all that all over again. It was great at that time, and it'll be great again to do it if we can. Look, it's not going to be easy. It never is easy with the intermediate. It's an absolute minefield for teams. Anyone can win it. But we're going to give it a good go, so we are.
And they're the junior champions, of course, as well. So they've maybe a point to prove the fact that they're up there.
Yeah, look, we played them earlier on in the year, and they gave us a rattle. They beat us like up in Fintna, and look, there's no disrespect, there's no nothing. Like, we're going to take it as a big game, as big a game as it is, because it is the first round of the championship. Anything can happen. Like, it's all important.
It's all about just getting over that first round, isn't it?
Yeah, just getting over it and playing as best we can. That's all we can ask for. Whatever way the results go, that's how it goes.
Thomas, Rock have that championship tradition over the past maybe few years. Have been there or thereabouts, but it'll be a tough opener against Georgetown.
Yeah, well, surely. Look, we're under no illusions. It's going to be a tough game, and probably do have a good tradition in championship. But you know, going out first round last year, you know, it's never good. Like, so want to get a good start this year, and you know, it's going to be a tough game. Like.
Yeah, I had thoughts on last year. Obviously, losing to Clonlow early on in the first round, it was a bit of a setback, but you regroup.
Yeah, no, look, tough game. You know, Division 1 team, like, and was never going to be easy, but regrouped and had a good enough league there. Probably wasn't exactly what we wanted, like, but good enough year, and you know, a good championship now is the aim.
I suppose, like, looking ahead to the championship, the knockout format, it's a big event, isn't it, to get over that first round, and it isn't easy in Tyrone.
No, definitely no easy games, and you know, everybody's going to be up for the first round, and you know, you want to win, you get a good championship run, it's good for the whole club, like, and a good championship run is what everybody wants, like.
You would have been young, probably the last time they won it, but you're just coming through into the squad, is that right?
Yeah, well, I wasn't playing that year, no.
Yeah.
I was coming in, I was coming off an injury that year, but no, just being about and winning the championship, like, it's nice, like, but ultimately you want to be Division 2, like, you want to be pushing up there, so yeah.
Senior football isn't beyond Rock, is it?
Probably not, no. It is the aim, like, you always want to be up there, like, but you know.
But you've seen other teams who've achieved it over the past few years, so maybe it's a hunger there, maybe to move from junior right on up.
It probably is, like, but you know, Division 2 is so competitive, like, there's nothing in between anybody in the top 6 or so, like, but you know, it's what everybody wants, like, and you know,
keep going for it and try, and
You're looking forward to it?
looking forward to it. Aye.
But we're back at Loughmacrory, the senior and intermediate championship. We'll start with the senior. Some great derbies to start in the senior, isn't it?
There is indeed, Paddy. I could run through a list of them, but I'll probably leave one out. And all the clubs, but I know Clonokil Island, O'Macilly-Clar, Donegal and Dungannon, then Carman and Dromore. So I'll stop halfway through anyway. But as I said, they speak for themselves, them ties.
You've touched on them, there's no doubt about that. And then obviously the champions Trillick up against the team relegated this year, or possibly relegated, English, and they won the championship. People would say it's an easy enough opener, but the championship's not like that, is it?
No, it is not, as I said, and obviously the well-documented hoodoo of defending champions in Tyrone, going back now 20 years to Carrickmore in 2004, 2005, that the O'Neill Cup hasn't been retained, and while on paper you would think Trillick have more than enough to get by English, who had let's face it, struggled for much of the season, albeit they showed plenty of character in the closing straight to try and make a fist of it. But no, the Reds will certainly not be taking that for granted.
Absolutely not. And then you mentioned Carrickmore there, they take on Dromore. That's one tasty game, isn't it? People talking about that already. That could be a cracking game.
Could indeed. You know, listen, we all know about the tradition of Carrickmore. It's named synonymous with the Tyrone Championship, but you know, they'll be looking to make amends for last year. Quite a limp exit by their sort of lofty standards over the years against Eton Dark, you know. So they revamped the whole management setup over the off season, and I've had a decent league campaign. They've made the semi-finals when they come about, but you know, they're all about the championship. You know, the league is they'll treat that with the respect it deserves when the time comes. But for now, it's about the O'Neill Cup, and as you said, Dromore have been there and done it too. They've an emerging force over the last 20 years. Probably feel they should have won more senior titles than they have done, but you know, having watched their near neighbours Trillick take the honours last year, that they'll not be lacking in terms of motivation.
Absolutely not. Then obviously Pomeroy against Errigal, that top on the table there at the end. And then we talked about there's some of the big derbies. Omagh and Killyclar, well, you don't need to really talk about it. I think everybody knows how angsty that could be and how good a game that could be, or maybe how negative it could be between two good sides. But I suppose one everyone's talking about is Connollys and Clonokil. They'll meet in the playoff, of course, as well in the league. So I know you were asking which is more important. It's hard to know which is more important, isn't it?
And let's not forget, Paddy, that playoff match won't happen if one of them wins the championship.
Yeah, that's right.
That's another scenario, albeit it looks long odds at this stage. If you're using the league form as a gauge, you would think both will struggle. But you know, they have tradition themselves, and for now they'll park their sort of all county league woes and just concentrate on this upcoming game, and then see how far they can get in that. And then if their paths do cross again in the relegation playoff, which is set to happen at the minute, as I said, then we'll see that match will take on a life of its own too, Paddy.
Absolutely. Arbo, Eden, Dork, Loughmacrory and Galway, and as you said, Donegal and Donegal, the other games. The intermediate, of course, is a couple of local derbies as well, but a couple of games perhaps that we tasty certainly on paper, but whether they produce the goods or not remains to be seen. Cookstown obviously promoted, take on Ahayarn. Could be an interesting one. Owen Rose against Gorchin. Nice wee derby, as opposed to a point. And Stewartstown Rock as well. Of course, Rock with that championship, I suppose, feel about them every year. They're always a team that maybe can cause an upset or produce something.
Yeah, Stewartstown Rock, two teams, they've made it all the way to Croke Park.
Yeah.
In the championship over the last decade or so, you know, so they have the pedigree and they'll certainly have the self-belief to make a run at the championship, but they'll not. Rock have probably had they obviously had a more encouraging league campaign than Stewartstown, but again, that sort of form can be tossed out the window when the championship comes around, you know. And the same, as I said, you mentioned Ahayarn, who, as I said, I think I had a full head of hair the last time they had a decent run in the championship, Paddy. So it's long overdue. They're probably been the great underachievers in the championship over the last decade or so, given the talent at their disposal. But so they won't be looking beyond their first round match against Cookstown.
And Cookstown will be boistered, obviously, by the success at minor level recently, of course, as well. And then we talk about Gorchin up against Owen Rose. Gorchin won in the league title. Massive boost back into senior football. I think the first time in 19 years, is it?
19 years, that's right. Funny, I was speaking to Stephen Kelly, the One Rose captain, and he thinks when the draw's made, they just pull out them 2 balls at the same time every year because it seems to meet on a perennial basis, you know, and albeit One Rose have had the upper hand a few times, but it's a time-old argument, you know. The team that's already promoted and have won the league, will their appetite be sated, and have they done what they set out to do at the start of the season in that regard, sort of gaining promotion? And you know, Gorchin put so much into the last few weeks of the season to just sort of inch across the winning line, Paddy, and you've seen the scenes yesterday in the Moy. It was terrific achievement for all concerns. But
nerve-wracking if you're a Gorchin supporter.
But yeah, I know Al Rogers was at it now, and he said it was looking ominous for them for quite a while. I think the county board might have needed the Sky Sports helicopter to get the trophy up the road at one stage to Moortown, you know, but they got the job done and they've Owen Rose now, so it's a matter of can they go to the well again?
And you mentioned Moortown. Moortown, of course, relegated from senior last year up against the team that was promoted last year as junior champions. But give me a tasty one, of course, and Fintona did beat them, of course, in the league as well.
Yeah, I understand Fintona are really relishing this one, you know, albeit their sole objective was consolidation, which is the core wish of any promoted team, and they achieved that, and they done it with a wee bit of breathing space, in fairness to them at the end. Fintona, they got a few hard-earned home victories over Clogher and Kildare, so you know they're up against one of the traditional heavy hitters, and given where Fintona, you know, they've toiled for years in junior football, and now they're up against a traditional football in power in Moortown, and they'll relish trying to claim their scalp.
Plenty of great games to come, Barry, and we can read all about it in the Ulster Herald, of course, and Trevor Chronicle and the Tyrone Herald, and no doubt the previews coming out this week, it'll be packed full of information.
Hope so, Paddy. Hope we got all our information collated and it's accurate enough, and everybody enjoys the read now. It's an action-packed, it's hectic, but it's a thoroughly enjoyable 4 to 6 weeks ahead for everyone.